Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Aisha Zuana. Number is F1101. Today, me and my group member Nur AFFIKA Shahida and AUNI Nasuha will be presenting PBT1 Budget Car Rental. Start with homepage. Here we design a header with text Budget Car Rental, and on the top right is home button and booking. On this page, we divide 4 sections for each car and we include pictures so user can see what car is it, how the car looks like. And we also put the car name and price per hour. And lastly, button for user to book. This page is the main booking page for our budget car rental systems. It displays all available cars, their hourly rates, and a Book Now button. At the top, the code starts a session using session_start brackets that allows us to store user data like which car they selected. Then we have an array called $cars that contains all the car details. Next, the HTML section includes the website's header and links to the CSS file for design and responsiveness. The main part of the code is the for each loop. It displays each car's image, name, rate, and a Book Now button dynamically. Clicking the button passes the car name to the booking page. Finally, the footer is included at the bottom for a consistent layout. Overall, this code combines PHP and HTML to show all car options dynamically and neatly. So this is our booking page design. On the left, users can fill in their details such as name, email, phone number, age, type of car, and booking time. After submitting, the system will display a booking summary showing all the entered details, total hours, and total payment. This page helps make the car rental process easy and organized for users. This file is the main booking form page for our car rental system. It connects the selected car from the previous page and allows user to enter their booking details. At the top, the PHP code starts a session and sets the time zone to Kuala Lumpur. It also checks if the car name was passed through the URL and stores it in a variable. Then we have an array called $car_rates, which contains each car's rate per hour. In the script section, JavaScript is used for live calculation and validation. The first function, diff_hours, calculates the number of hours between the start and end time. The next function, updateEstimate, automatically calculates the total price based on the selected car and total hours. It shows the estimated cost in real time. Finally, the validate form function checks user input before submitting. It ensures the user is at least 18 years old, that the end time is later than the start time, and that the user has checked the acknowledgement box. So overall, this file combines PHP and JavaScript to make the booking process interactive, accurate, and user-friendly.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AUNI Suha. My metric number is F1104. For this JavaScript section, we start with an event listener that runs when the page finishes loading using DOM content loaded. This script finds the form input element for car type, start date, and end date. When any of these values change, it automatically updates the estimate price using the function updateEstimate. This will help user see price change instantly without reloading the page. For the PHP include partial header.php, this is used to insert a common header file so that all pages have the same top design or navigation bar. The main part of the page is inside a main container with a class container. Inside it, I have a div called form, which holds the actual booking form. The booking form uses the post method and send data to process the PHP when the user clicks submit. We also use onSubmit return validate form event to run a JavaScript validation before the form is sent to the server. Next, there is hidden input field for CSRF protection. This token is generated in the session and ensure that only forms from our website can be submitted. It will preventing CSRF attack. After that, there are two input fields, one for the user full name and one for the email. Each field has a label and use the required attribute. So the form can be submitted if they are empty. The placeholder tags help the user understand what to type in. Next, we collect the user phone number. The label is linked to the input with for phone for accessibility. The input use type equal TAL, so phone show a numeric keypad. We add a placeholder and a pattern to validate the format that will only allow digits, space, plus, and hyphen character. We arrange between 9 and 15. The required attribute prevents submitting an empty value. For the age field, is type equal number with minimum 0 and step 1. So it only accepts whole number 0 or higher. This field is also required. The select let the user choose a car type. The first option is a disabled prompt that says select a car. Then look through a PHP array called car rate. For each item, the output an option where value is safely escaped with HTML special char name. If a car was previously chosen in the query, we mark the option as selected to keep the user choice. The visible tag shows the car name and it hourly rate like sedan RM 50 per hour. This will balance usability and security. Next, there are two strong elements with IDs, hours, and estimate. The JavaScript from earlier update this value in real time whenever the user change the car start time or end time. So then, user can immediately see the estimate hour and estimate pay before submitting. This part of coding is for collect the booking time detail. This section includes two input fields, one for the start time and one for the end time. Both use the input type data date time locker, which let user pick both date and time from a calendar interface. The required attribute makes sure the user cannot submit the form without selecting both times. This will improve accuracy and convenience, and the format is automatically handled by the browser. And then there is added a confirmation checkbox with the label I acknowledge all the given details are true. The required attribute means user must check this box before submitting the form. This will help ensure that the user review and confirm their booking details before continuing. At the end of the form, I have two buttons inside a div with a class action. The first one is submit booking button. We send all the form data to the process.php. The second one is a reset button. We clear all the input if the user wants to start over. This will make the form easy to use and user-friendly. Lastly is the footer. Using PHP include partial footer.php. This will ensure that all pages share the same footer design for consistency and easy maintenance. That's all. This output shows that if a customer age is below 18, then he will not be allowed to book a car from our website. This output shows that if customer insert end time earlier than start time on the same date, the local host will remind the user that end time must be greater than the start time.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AFFIKA Shahida binti Hazrul and my metric number is F1110. So today I will be present about coding process.php. This file runs the main backend process for our website. At the top of the file, we also use the function session start. This begins a PHP session that lets the site temporarily store information like the user's name or booking details as they move between pages. So next is when users submit the booking form, their details are sent through the post method to this PHP file. Inside process.php, we use conditional statements to check if the input is valid. If the user is under 18, the system shows an error message. If the end time is earlier than the start time, another alert appears. So since we are not using a database, the goal here isn't to store data, it's to demonstrate how PHP handles and validates form input directly from the browser. This shows the server-side process flow without needing MySQL. So the next is coding style.css. This file defines the visual design of our pages, such as layout, colors, font style, and spacing. We kept the design clean and consistent across all pages, especially for the home page, looking page, and footer. The same color scheme runs throughout the site to make it cohesive. We also use CSS classes to control margins and buttons for a better user experience. So next is we also use media queries for responsive design, so the layout adapts well on mobile screens. The CSS improves user experience by keeping everything clean, readable, and consistent. Even without frameworks, style.css makes the whole site look professional and organized. So next is coding footer.php, coding header.php. So for footer.php, manages the bottom section of every web page. It contains copyright information, contact details, and sometimes a tagline. We use the PHP include function to attach it to other files like the home page and booking page. This way, if we want to change the footer later, we only need to edit one file and it automatically updates on every page. That's how we keep our project modular and efficient. Next is header.php. This file holds the top navigation bar, the logo, and links to the main page. Like the footer is included in all pages using include function. The purpose is to keep the layout consistent and reduce repeated code. If we decide to update a menu item, it only needs to change once, saving time and preventing errors. This shows how PHP can manage multiple components while keeping the code clean and reusable. Together, these files, process.php, style.css, footer.php, and header.php, work as one system. The front end handles design and layout, while the back end uses PHP for data validation, session control, and page structure. Even though we didn't use a database, the system still functions dynamically because of how PHP processes data and sessions. This demonstrates a solid understanding of how client-side and server-side scripts work together to create an interactive website. So in summary, our budget car rental website shows how PHP can manage real-time logic, handle user input securely, and maintain consistent page structure, even without a database. We focused on logic, design, and user flow using only Apache and PHP. So that's all from us. Thank you.